Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. On the Sword Coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey, heroes on their way. Fighting forever against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get you all a man. Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions. From Waterdeep to Icewind, head out the shelf, all Shadowfell, hey, hey. Together we stay. Walk to the monsters, walk to the boss, walk to the right, it's never a loss, hey, hey. Bad guys to slay. Fighting forever against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get you all out there. Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Saturday, which means it's a new Gaarawarr's Guide, the tutorial show. Today we are covering Split the Party 2 and the fast core it gives you as a reward. Yeah. The code has been updated, folks, just for those of you who are new. Codes don't get updated until this show actually starts. That doesn't mean there's music playing and there's a screen. That means, like, the people are on the screen. And then when you get it, you come over here to the shop. You go to unlock a locked chest. You go to unlock a locked chest. And oh, I did two split. No. See, this is what happens when you live a caffeine-free life and it's the morning. All right, there we go. Two split too fast. All right, so we're going to cover Split the Party 2, which means, since there's lots of, I tried to split the code too fast. If we're going to cover Split the Party 2, we kind of got to talk a little bit about Split the Party 1, and if we're going to talk about a fast core, we kind of have to talk about Modron cores and Modron flow in general. So we're going to do those things today in the first hour of the show, and then in the second hour, we will do Q&A. So if you have questions about what we're talking about today, you could throw them in chat, and the wonderful Jay, who is behind the CNA Games account this morning, will be putting them in a document that's right over here. And then, in the second hour, I'll answer those questions. If you have questions about other things, you can ask those too. Just know that we'll be doing the on-topic stuff first, and then the off-topic stuff second. And lately, there's lots of you asking questions, so, if you keep it on topic, that's going to be more of a guarantee you get your question answered. This isn't Split the Party 2. This is Mad Wizard. So we're going to complete this. We're going to complete this mainly because I don't want anything in this party. Now, I've already spoilers. I've already completed Split the Party 2 and unlocked my fast core. In fact, my fast core is right there. We're going to take that out and put no core. And I had the wonderful Sean throw me into Split the Party 2 with his behind-the-scenes wizardry. So we're going to hop over here. And we'll do it live. And see, I've already completed it. even though I'm on level 1, because I literally have already completed it. So we will come in here. There are some rules to split the party. We'll let these beasts and baddies kind of have their way with some things for a bit. There are some rules with split the party, and you see them usually before you go in, but we're going to just cover them up here, or show them off here. This is split the party 2, but honestly, all but one thing is the same. So, complete area 50. Yeah, that's not far, right? No favor bonus or favor reward. Okay, because this isn't a campaign. This is literally a one-off adventure. So, you can't push as far as you can and then reset to get favor and then do it again. That's not a thing here. Areas get much harder much more quickly. They do. They do. Click damage is reduced to 0 after area 5, and fire breath potions cannot be used. It's almost like they want you to actually build a formation, folks. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk? So yeah, so clicking is only gonna work through level 5 or area 5, and we'll talk about. Well, I'll kind of show off what I usually do for that. So we're gonna throw out some. I'll throw out some familiars right now. So you can use this for the first 5 levels, but if you'll note, man, them rabbits, I got click damage out. Them rabbits ain't dying. Like they said, it's a lot harder than usual. So yeah, so don't be scared if you die repeatedly on level 1. It's just kind of a thing. It's just kind of a thing. The point is you've got to earn some gold. Once a champion is placed in the formation, they cannot be swapped or removed. So choose, but choose wisely. That is the general rule for both the split the parties. Make sure you're making good decisions. And we'll go over how what my thought process is for split the party 2 here in a moment. Now for this version of split the party, in areas 13, 27, and 37, 60% of the champions in the active formation are removed from your party and locked for the remainder of the adventure. It's chosen at random and it rounds up. Now in the first split the party, it was 50%. Just straight up, the fact that they raised the percentage to 60% actually makes this easier. It makes it easier. Because what happens is, usually in split the party, like in the first split the party, when it was taking half of them away, say the usual general strategy for up to area 13 is to just use 2 champions. And try to power through. And usually you're fine. Usually you get there with 2 champions. And then it's going to remove one of them, right? But you don't know which one. So you in Split the Party 1, you had to make decisions knowing that, well, I'm going to lose someone, but I don't know who. So I always have to use good champions. I can't just throw some away. Well, in Split the Party 2, it's going to remove 60% round up, so you can use 2 champions. And they can be just enough to get you through the first 5 levels, and it's going to pull them both out. Because it rounds up. Kind of fantastic. Kind of wonderful. So you can use some trash champions for the first bit. It makes it a little easier. And then you can go from there. Which is what we're going to do, kind of. Like, I don't... Who do I want? You have to decide. Normally, you can't just come in here and then decide who you want. Normally, you get whoever you started your last adventure with. So I'm going to say, who would I have come in here with? I probably would have come in here with, like, Deacon. I probably would have come in here with, like, Deacon. And we're gonna reset this, and then we're gonna throw Deacon out. And I'm gonna demonstrate. So yeah, normally you would have come in here with Deacon, and usually you want to put, when you're doing this, you want to put your champions all the way in the back, because give your click damage enough time to kill everything. There's no need to start getting them beat to death all the way up here. Now there's one other thing that you get to do, like we already said, in Split the Party and Split the Party 2, there's no favor. There's no favor bonuses. However, you get global blessings and global perk. They should be applying. Sure. But there's something that you have available to you in Split the Party 2 that you didn't have Split the Party 1. And that's a frickin' Modron core, folks. If you've done Split the Party 1, you've got a Modron core. And what do you get when you got a Modron core? All of those bonuses. Look at us go. It's almost like, look, our gold find went from nothing to EO6 now because I got a Modron core and it's full epic. Yeah, so, you know, you got your modest core. Your modest core makes this super easy. So now I've got all the gold in the world. Good for me. I can come up here and I can go, well, I want a tank, but I don't necessarily want a tank that I'm going to keep forever, so let's go Sentry. Let's go Sentry, right? I'm going to go to upgrades. I don't necessarily need to worry about gold because I've got EO6 gold. For those of you at home, that's millions of gold find, right? So now, this is cruise control. Now, because all I did was throw in my Modron core, which has gold find. It has all champs damage. I believe it has some monster health reduction. Let's go take a look. I mean, we're going to be talking about some Modron cores as we're doing this, right? You can find your total bonus right here. Total bonus right here. And, yeah. So, about the fifth down from the top, it says endpoint component monster HP minus 94%. Well, they raised, if you couldn't tell by the way I was doing click damage and it wasn't doing a whole lot, they raised the monster HP for Split the Party 2. Well, this reduces it back down and stuff friggin' dies. But also, I leveled up my click damage. So between that, leveling up lots and lots of click damage, which I can take this off now. I don't need 25 click damage because we're not going past 5 with click damage, remember. Yeah, I just ride those bonuses to victory, basically. So with Split the Party 2, make sure when you come in that you've got some levels on your modest core. Does it need to be 15? No. But if you have to make a decision about how to kind of pipe it, you know, make sure you've got a lot of gold find, because gold find, I mean, as you know from doing all the campaigns and all the favor pushes, the easiest road to power early on is through gold find. And that means favor. Well, we don't have favor here, but we can boost that gold find. So getting us gold out here lets us over level our champions and our click damage. All right, that's more than enough. I think we're going to move forward because after 5, we're not going to be able to click damage anymore. But if you notice, just getting up here to 5, yeah, no click damage now, no click damage. So the familiars I'm going to leave out on the field because, as you'll note, they still do the little mini stun effect for a short amount of time. They get a certain number of stuns, and then the enemies are kind of stun immune. But that means it slows them down, so they're not coming towards me. And I'm just going to let Sentry and Deacon here kill them all off. And yeah. Yep. Let's throw some speed on here, because, like we said before, 2 split too fast. Yeah, 2 split too fast. So we'll do this a little quicker. In fact, I'm going to throw a couple of these on, and we're going to go super speedy. So as we mentioned before, you're going to lose champions, and you want to make sure that I got to turn auto progress on. Silly. You want to make sure that as you're moving forward, what I don't like to do here is overspend. As you'll notice, I haven't leveled up my champions much. I leveled them up a little bit, but you know, they're green, and there's a lot of people that are out there watching going, put some more levels in. Split the Party 2, in my opinion, well, Split the Party 1, Split the Party 2, it depends on how much gold fund you have. These are about kind of efficient leveling techniques, and efficient leveling techniques means you don't necessarily spend all the gold you have all the time. So you spend what you need to spend. What does that mean? Well, as long as I'm one-shotting everything, when they attack, I don't need to upgrade them. They're good. I'm going to do this through these little levels where I'm losing players. losing champs, because I want to keep as much gold as possible around, so that when I have to bring in new champions, I can bring them in and level them up, and have them be strong when they come in. I don't necessarily want to waste anything here. So I'm just going to keep an eye out. It looks like as they're smacking things, it looks like they're still killing stuff right away, and we're about to be to our split level. So there's no reason to overspend on these champions when you're going to lose them at these interval levels anyway. So 13, 27, 37, I think is what we're looking at. Yeah, 13, 27, 37. So I'm about to finish 13. It should remove both of them. This does mean this is an adventure you're going to want to play actively. You're going to want to be at the keyboard for this, because if you get here and there's nothing, suddenly you're like, oh god, what do I do? What do I do? I can't get anything out in time because I have decision paralysis. And that's fine. So if we look down here, you'll see that now the champions that I was using, Sentry and Deacon, they both got removed, and they're both locked. This is the split the party symbol. It can't be used because I used them already. I can, however, use any of the others in this slot. Okay, so it's not locking the entire slot. It's only locking the champions. All right. So now I need to get to 27. And I'm going to give you kind of the biggest secret of Split the Party, both 1 and 2. Area 15 is the hardest boss fight in this whole thing. So, when you're setting up your first run and you're trying to get through this, I got rid of champions that I know I'm not interested in having. What I am interested in having is the champions, strong champions at level 15, and I'm willing to have multiple. I'm willing to have like 4, like 3 or 4. Literally, if I'm having trouble on 15, I'll put a whole party in. Because as long as I can get past 15, I'm good. Now, the key is I just need to make sure I'm using a party that is optimal. Like, I have to build a good party. I can't just throw junk people in and think that they're going to do a good job. Now, this is just me. You do you. Here is my personal ideal party for this. Again, you know, maybe I don't. Maybe I want. Yeah, we'll do this. Okay, so I'm going to throw in these 4. I'm going to still put them back here because, again, there's no reason to put them up sooner. They're just going to get to me faster. So I always build, in Split the Party, I always build my formation in the back. So what's going on here? Let me fix my voice and then I'll explain. Okay. I have a tank in Nayeli. If you're new, I think you know what Nayeli does. I have my DPS in Ashara, and the big thing about Ashara is Ashara has multiple attacks. This is going to come in handy, as we'll get there in a moment. Esmeralda. Why Esmeralda? Esmeralda has a feature where she gives you extra credit, like twice as much, if you're attacking something that is segmented or has armor. Human also does this. I could have used Human. I would build a little forward. I would build this formation a little more forward, like up here, if I was doing Human, to make sure that they got their credit for that. But I could do that with Human. And then I have Calliope. Calliope shields everyone within 2 adjacent slots, which means in this simple 4-person 4-champ formation, she's going to shield everybody. Why is this? Gaarawarr, it's like you're telling us that boss 15 is someone that's, painful and armored and maybe hurts your whole party. 'Cause he does. Yeah. He slaps your whole party with damage. So it isn't good enough just to have a tanky frontline. You got to have some shields and some health. So with Nayeli, when we want to make sure everybody else has some health, we go Oath of Devotion, And then we have to level up to the point where she gets some health share. You may not get all the way there, but at least if you're keeping her to the point where she's got some decent health, that's going to be useful. So let us go up. I'm going to turn all our progress back on. I'm going to get us up to 14. I'm going to stop. As you can see, we're still doing all the damages because my Modron core is killing everything. Ashara, you're going to want to go Potpourri on because that's what buffs herself. And at least get that ultimate. Like, I mean, you should at this point have enough gold to go up a little further. So we're just going to go all the way up to Paragon of Kir Sabal, and we're going to call it a day. Calliope, for this, College of Lore, decreases the cooldown Calliope's temporary hit points by 5 seconds. So that means instead of throwing out her shields every 15 seconds, she'll throw them out every 10 seconds. And the boss is going to be thwapping you, your whole party. So you want to reset those shields often, right? We're going to stop there. Esmeralda, we need to get to double credit. This is why one of the reasons I like using Esmeralda for this is because she is slot 1, so there is a chance that you will be able to get her all the way up. We get training montage. I think that's what we want, right? Yeah. If the enemy has armor or hits base health, champions in Esmeralda's column remove an extra chunk when dealing damage to them. So we're just going to go that high. We could probably go higher. We could probably go up further. We probably would, like to threat tracking, because we probably have plenty of gold, right? And then we're gonna go fight the boss. Now some key things again. For Split the Party 2, we're basically gonna destroy this guy because of my Modron core. However, if you're having trouble with it, if your Modron core isn't as leveled up as mine, or you're doing Split the Party 1, and this same style of doing things that works for Split the Party 1, you're gonna want to take use of these things, these ultimates that we have unlocked down here. The Banishing Smite, which stuns everything. You want to wait and use that on the boss if your health is getting low. You've got a full party shield, even if Calliope isn't ready to shield yet, in case the shields have gone away and you're about to get wrecked. And you've got a fireball that can push the boss off of you. So generally, push the boss all the way off, stun lock them back here somewhere, and then when they come up and thwap again, then you can do your shields, right? That's kind of order of operations. So let's watch this happen. There he is. There's the Tree Blight. So this is kind of the stun lock. See, I just kind of stunned him and then pushed him back. And then he comes up and he dies because we're way too good. We're way too good. But yeah, normally that's going to be a much more difficult fight. Again, the reason it wasn't, I go back over here, is all of these buffs. There's a lot. Like there's one of those buffs, the second one down from the top, is global damage. It's E14 just by itself. Just by itself, right? We can kind of simulate. Let's go back. We can go back. We can take the buff out. See, here's a bit, it's a bit rougher here. Things are having to get all the way up to the formation, and yeah, we're doing some chunkage, but he's hitting us. We have shields that are protecting us, but as you can see, he's still thwapping the whole party for 230 damage a pop, and we're dead, right? This is what happens if you're just normal fighting Tree Blight. He'll wreck your face. He'll wreck your face, right? So you have to keep in mind the good ultimate usage. Good ultimate usage would have prevented those deaths. So if we do this a little more realistically here, we're going to kill everything off. We're going to ult. We're going to lock down away from the party. Let him come back up. We're going to shield ultimate. Nope, still died. Still died. So in this case, we would level up some more. We definitely need to get Nayeli. Here's the problem is we're not up to health share on Nayeli. So getting Nayeli up to health share would definitely change this because our other people only have like 129 HP, right? So that's what you'd have to do. You'd have to sit there and farm and wait and try to get Nayeli up to the point where she can share her health with other party members, if that's a problem, or just get yourself some more damage so that you're killing things a little quicker, right? Maybe get this extra ultimate in. Look, normal pushing strategies of sitting and farming and getting stuff if you don't have enough gold. And also, throw in health potions, right? We could double everyone's health. We could triple. We can quadruple, like an epic quadruples. That alone would make us more survivable against the tree. When I did the first split the party, I absolutely used epic potions. I used epic heroism, I used giant strength, and I used clairvoyance so that I would have gold find, damage, and health. And that's what got me through. So these difficult variants, this is what these potions are for, folks. Don't sleep on them. Use them. Use them. So we're gonna work back up. We're gonna go to 27, and on 27, it's gonna remove 60% again. It's gonna remove 60% of our party again. So I'm okay keeping all of these champions. That's how I selected this. Now, if you had lots of power and you weren't worried about it, well, I mean, if you have lots of power and you're not worried about it, you don't really have to worry about losing champions either. But if I were totally trying to limit this and not lose tons, I could have tried to do that with just 2 champions. I don't recommend that. There are some guides out there on the internet that say, yeah, just use 2 champions until you get to the final stretch after the final removal, and then put a full party formation in. Oh, that's frustrating. No, don't do that. If I'd had a lot of problems, and again, if I'd had a lot of problems on Tree Blight, and I didn't have a Modron core, like I said, if I didn't have all this gold and all those buffs, I would have just kept building out a fuller party. Instead, and I couldn't level up. If I couldn't keep getting more gold to level those champions up higher, I would have just added more. If I need more health, add another tank that's got some health share. Something. Just keep buffing your full party and build out a full formation. It's more difficult because this formation is so stretched out. Look at it. It's like a strip of bacon. It's like a strip of bacon. So it is more challenging because you've only got 2, but you got 5 columns. But build out a full party for Tree Blight if you have to. Because past that, you're only getting that tank there, the enemy that's hitting the tank. They're not hitting your whole group like Tree Blight does. So Tree Blight's definitely challenging. All right, so here we got our split. I kept Nayeli. Now I need to build out something that's going to get me through 37. Something's going to get me through 37. You know what? Delina. What's up, Delina? Come hang out. Who else? Yeah, Bruner. The greatest Dwarven King. I'm just, this is the ramping one, but I don't want it to last that long, so we're just going to kill him with Battlemaster. You get that right away. We're going to go Celeste, because we want to throw some heals out on Nayeli. And I'm going to use 4 again. But I'm going to put more gold over here than over here. I'm going to get everybody up to roughly the same number of gold. Nayeli's at E15, so I know I should be able to get up into the E16 range. Yeah, there we go. We'll do 16s on everybody. That tells me I'm leveling everyone equally like I would on a push, more or less. Yeah, there we go. Now, again, this is just me picking an arbitrary number. Now, why aren't we moving forward? We're killing all these things, right? Well, it's because we have to clear the crumbled wall. So here's a trick for everybody for clearing barricades in the back. If you've got lots of stuff in the front, just click on them. The familiars are always going to click on the thing closest to you. They will not kill a barricade if there's enemies between you and the barricade. But you can click back here, and once every 5 to 6 seconds, you're going to get credit for clicking on this wall. There, well, no, that was Delina. Oh! Forgive me, chat. There is no click damage in Split the Party. Normally, though, pocket that for, yeah, Karma Kappa. Pocket that for regular adventures. You can remove barricades that are beyond enemies by clicking on them in normal adventures. Not in Split the Party. Let's sigh. But yeah, keep that as a tip for in your pocket for regular stuff. Because that's actually a good way to kill, like, sometimes you get segmented health bosses who spawn lots of enemies. You can actually click behind them and slowly click and remove them, even though you may not be clearing all that wave. So the only reason I'm using 4 champions here and not going more is because, again, I'm going to lose 60%. I could go 5. The math changes, right? Before, when it was 50%, you just kind of wanted to go with like 4s. You didn't want to go with odd numbers. But you can go with odd numbers now for Split the Party 2. Because 60% of 5 is 3, and 60% of 4 is still going to be 3 because it rounds up, right? I don't really need it here. But let's see. Who would I throw in if I needed a little more? If I need a little more chutzpah, we could go with some Baloth. No, I think I want a Baloth. Baloth's kind of an end game. So let's not do Baloth. Who do I want? Decisions. Let's throw No, I can't. Yeah, no, I can't throw Makos in. I can't throw Makos in because of this formation. Because he'd be right next to my DPS. For no matter what. Man, who do I want? See, I normally don't even bother. I normally wouldn't even bother. You know what? Let's get Penelope out there, because Penelope's adorable. I kind of over-leveled her, but that's fine. We should be fine here. We need to be spending more money. We're not doing enough damage. So we need to be leveling up anyway. So again, normally you would want to spend efficiently. I'm just trying to match gold, but normally you would be looking in here, and you'd be trying to find what's the next good upgrade I can get to that's actually going to help my party. It's 800. It's not self-damage on Brunor. It's 800. So ideally we would be targeting 800, right? And you can see it right here if it is the next thing. But then after that, where would you want to get Celeste? You don't care about self-damage. You'd go all the way up to Cure Wounds. That's going to help your tank stay alive. But really, for damage, you'd want to be at 500. Right? Nayeli, we would want 300. We obviously have more than enough gold for that. But with Delina, you're fine. With Delina, you want straight damage. So you're always going to want to pick Delina's next upgrade. So you can always pick your DPS's next upgrade. You just don't want to necessarily pick everybody else's. All right. We need to get to 37. Clear 37 to get rid of the rest of this party. And put in our final pushing party. Oh, I know why. I'm like, why were we going so slow? Well, one of the speed potions wore off. So let's throw some more speed on it. Throw a little more stank on it. There we go. So as you can see, I mean, ultimately it's going to be just like any other adventure. Once you get your formation made, you're just powering through the monsters and upgrading when you get more gold. I could be upgrading more. We have plenty of gold. I just don't want to waste it. I know we're like just a couple levels away. There we go. As long as Nayeli's staying alive, I don't really need to upgrade Nayeli. All I really need to do is keep upgrading my damages. And then I'm not wasting any gold. And one of the neat things about Delina, yes, I just said that, chat. I just said there's a neat thing about Delina. Her ultimate actually increases her damage. It's not a damage ultimate. It keeps her in her high damage phase longer, because she's got these peaks and valleys in terms of damage, and it keeps her at that maxed kind of thing, so that you're doing all the damages all the time. There we go. All right. We lost everybody but Brunor. Oh, no. We've got Penelope, too. Okay. Well, Penelope's about to fall over. All right. Final tanking scenario. Final tanking scenario. You know what? Let's just throw in Briv. Briv and Penelope are friends. Oh, I didn't get there fast enough. Now we're going to just throw this all the way up at the front, though. We're going to throw some stuff in some other places. Brivs, and I don't care now. I don't care now about spending all the gold because we're going to have these people forever. Forever. Because we're running now to the finale. Remember, 37 was the last one. We're on 38. We can go all the way home. So we're going to put in, some more damages. Now, I had used Ashara early. You don't have to use Ashara early. You could use somebody else against Tree Blight. Another option for Tree Blight with multi-hits is Hitch. Or you get him right away. In this scenario, I'm going to be using Farida. And who else? We're going to want Briv the Bold. And let's throw in... Tyrell. Why not? We'll put Tyrell in his celestial skin up here where he becomes a unicorn. And we'll do all the pushes. We can throw Makos in the back. There shouldn't be any issue now with building all the damages. And we'll throw some speed in. Now, while you can't swap these champions out now, what you can do is change their specializations. So even if you try one specialization and it's not working, you can still swap around in specializations. You just can't change. There we go. We're done. Yeah, sped right through it. All right. Hey, I've completed Split the Party 2 again. That's it, folks. See how easy it is once you just start leveling up all the things and throw in some speed champions? So now, we didn't talk about rewards. The rewards for Split the Party 2 are similar to Split the Party 1. When you unlock both, you get an additional party. So, when you're new and you're doing the original Split the Party, you go from 1 to 2 parties. You unlock a Modron core. Now, this one specifically with the eyebrows is the fast core or the speed core, however you want to call it. And then you get some Modron chests. So that's the reward that we're getting for completing this. Now I already have all these things, so it's not a reward that I'm going to be getting. Unless it gave me a 4th core? No, it didn't do that last time. So now we're just going to go hop into La Mad Wizard, and we will let it do its thing. Oh, yeah. I need to. Oh yeah. Well, I guess that's the core. Let me enable some automation here. I can set my own limits. So now that I have a core enabled, I can do automation. I can set a pre-save party. These come from the save parties that you have over here. You can also set the specializations you want to come up when it gets to that level. You can set the reset area. You can set, any potions you want used as well. Now, because I didn't have this active when we loaded in, I have to manually then load my party. But otherwise, it would have done it on its own. Dang it, just pull out the imps. There. Imps. Imping ain't easy. All right, there we go. Now, while this is doing its thing, we're going to go take a look at the fast core, and we're going to talk about some basic Modron flow and some basic piping. Spoiler, I'm not going to fully pipe it because it's the fast core. So let us go. Let me throw it in. So when you have your different parties, this is your multi-party screen. If you didn't know it, this is full 3. Look, there's even room if you scroll. I'm scrolling with my mouse wheel. There's no drag bar. If I scroll with my mouse wheel, it tells me, hey, unlock a new party, but there isn't anything here. So who knows? 4 parties in the future? So when you have these, you can view your core. You can go to automation from here. You can switch your parties, buy an additional core. I already have all of them. Otherwise, the strong core would show up here, and it would be 500,000 gems. Currently, currently focus on doing Split the Party 1 and 2 to get yourself your first 2 cores. After that, if you feel the need for a 3rd core, then start saving up your gems. When you want to swap cores around, you just assign them like this to the different places. You can even hot swap. I can come over here and I can just go, no, I want the fast one here. And it's like, are you sure? And you go, yeah. And then you just go over here and assign the other one. Nowadays, whenever you make these assignments, it turns off all the automation features. This is good because, man, as you notice, like I have 430 here and 50 here. If I had accidentally swapped in this one at a lower thing and it was at 200, it would reset. And if I'd burned potions, I'd be wasting those potions in any time I had. It's just, yeah, it's problematic. So they made it so it resets. It pulls out, disables all the automation when you swap them around. And that's good. We want to go look at this core. This is the modest core. This is the free one that you get for the first Split the Party. It's got no real extra art. It's just this basic eye. This is the strong core. It's got the little armored metal stuff and it's squinting at you because it's real strong. And then this is the fast core. It's got these little winged eyebrows. So let's go look at the fast core. I'm going to clear this. This is what it looks like. We are up to level 15, so this is kind of going to be the maxed core build. Normally, when you first get it, it's level 1. And you have to slot it in and complete areas with it to get XP. So that's how they level up. As you hover it over down here, your core gains 1 point of experience every time you clear an area with it active. At level 1 with the fast core and the strong core, you don't get any automation. You've got to get to level 3 to automate for the fast and strong core. The modest core comes with automation unlocked at level 1. But anything after that you got to work for, so your progress is going to slow down a bit because you can't automate. You got to do it by hand again. Oh, the horror. Yeah, you get spoiled with automation. It is what it is. So the thing about this is piping this for me is different than piping any other core because this is the fast core. What does that mean? That means it has nodes in here that are specifically functioning much like Speed Champion's speed effects do. So we've got right down here, increase enemy spawn speed. It starts out at 6%, goes all the way up to 50%. We've got health reduction, which we saw before. That's not necessarily a speed effect, but it does let you click a little further automatically. Where's the other speed? Okay, here's one. Enemies have a percent chance to drop 2 quest items at once or count for 2 kills at once. We're familiar with that, folks, right? Like this is Human's effect. This is Deacon's effect. There's another one up here. Time accelerates and everything moves faster. This is Shandy's effect. This is also a speed potions effect. You'll notice it says caps at 10x. So this contributes to the multiplier that you would get from speed potions and Shandy, thus letting you go fast. Letting you go fast, but to a certain cap. Now, if you look at these when it's still level locked, so when you have level 1, it's only going to unlock. You can only place stuff down here, and then it says all these other blocks will be filled with level whatever and a lock symbol, and they unlock as you level up. These effects come in at like 5, level 5, level 10, level 15, right? And for me, all I really care about on this core is the speed primarily. And the gold secondarily. So there are some gold. Here's some gold. Here's some gold. Here's some gold. Oh, that's oh yeah, okay, there we go. That's funny. Just keep showing one at random. So these are gold effects. So these are going to let me earn more gold. And when you're farming, when you're doing gem farms, what do you usually care about? You usually care about your speed and the gold because you want to go fast. And you want to make as much gold as possible because it lets you click further, which makes your runs more efficient when you're using like Shandy, right? So when I go to pipe this out, and when I went to pipe this out for the first time, my focus was just getting to the speed effects and maxing them out and getting gold and maxing that out. I literally ignored everything else. So, what was my thought process going into this? So, coming out, this is your starter node. This is going to be a little new player focused because we've got lots of new players here. So, piping your Modron flow, it starts here at this node. Input power starts at 1.0. You'll see this is spinning, but I don't have any automation. See, it's grayed out down here because I haven't hooked anything up. I've got lots of pipes, folks. This is many months of opening many chests, and I've even got some chests down here we're going to open up. What I want to do is just I like to pipe things out with the bare bones basic components first. As you can see, I hooked this up. It's got the flow, it lights up, it's got little bubbles going through it, and now I can set up automation. So this is it. This is how you set up automation on any core. You just have to get that flow going in. Just has to get going in, and then you can start automating stuff. The other things to keep in mind on Modron cores are these little fixed pipe bonuses. As you can see, if you come into this pipe, there's little green arrows that are pointing up. If you come into it and shoot your flow up, you're going to get some free magnification. They're placed at different places around here, and you want to keep these in mind. Ideally, you're hitting all of these to give yourself some nice free boosts. And this is how you want to think about how you're going to direct your piping, is based off these arrows. Like, how do I want to get into these and use these? Like, these are both coming down and out, which makes it kind of want to pipe in a certain direction. But this one is coming in from the right and then going down. So you'd think that would want to connect through here. So at level 15, the way I sat down and tried to think about this is, well, how would I want some of this stuff to go, right? Like this obviously kind of comes down over here. It looks like it kind of wants to go like that. I mean, if I were just focusing on this and trying to buff, like this is a straight line. These I'm not sure what to do with yet. This one is weird because this goes down in here, but this one goes up in here. And we don't have any pipes that really do like over-under passes. Like we have cross pipes, but this is a literal merge. This is an intersection. It is not an overpass and an underpass. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, it doesn't go... I can't go over this way and under this way and not merge flows. They are fully combined. Whereas it looks kind of like you would want an over-underpass to do this, and you can't. So that tells me that I'm kind of going to probably want to come over here and then head out. And then if I'm coming down here, it's got to go somewhere else. I don't know how I want to do that. If I come up here, again, this is an in from the side, so it looks like these, like this, kind of just wants to come up and go here, potentially. So I like to go in and I like to just pipe this stuff out, like I said, kind of ahead of time. With whites, I have a lot of them, so it works. Just to give myself kind of an idea of what direction might I want to go. I kind of ignore a lot of the nodes, because what I'm doing is trying to aim for like my high value targets. What would be my high value target? This would be a high value target because it's got, this is a speed thing, right? Over here though, it's the other way around. Over here, it's the high value target and then it goes past it for a buff. So that tells me that this, when I'm coming up here, I don't just want to go into this. I want to go in and split. And there are T's for that, right? So I'm just going to put in a low T. So this is more what I feel like I'm going to want to make happen over here. This doesn't mean this is how it's going to end up. It just means how I'm kind of going to try to start wrapping my head around building it. There are some online tools for this now. One of the Idle Champions, a member of the Idle Champions community, made a website that basically lets you play the pipe game and have access to all the pipes, and you can go copy your pipes, you can use any pipe you want, and you can figure out kind of flows. I just pipe it in game, but I also have lots of pipes. That's kind of the difference, right? So far this kind of looks like, oh well, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of getting some direction. There's this wants to come up. This probably needs to go away. I should probably try to join these, right? I mean, that seems like that would make sense. So I want to kick out here like this and do something more like this. What do we got? And then I want to come over and reconnect over here. It feels like. Feels like the first time. No, that's not. This isn't karaoke, Gaarawarr. So if I want to come over here and use up all of these pipes, it feels like something like that. Oh, that's the wrong one. That one. Right? Again, I'm connecting what I consider are my high value nodes first. I still don't know what I'm doing down here yet. It feels like if I come up through this, like maybe if I come out this and I come up over here and then I come up, I could probably join that. No, I can't do that because that means, here's the thing. Here's my thought process. What if I come up here and I join this and then I bring this up and I join this? That creates an infinite loop. If I were to do that, this loop would be feeding in upon itself and the whole pipe would overheat. The whole thing would, it's called overheating. Everything gets red and it stops working. So I can't do that. So if I want to pipe up through these and have it join this, it can't come from here. Which is weird because they put it right off of this. So I have to make a decision. Do I want to end? I could come up and I could end here. This one could still come up and feed into this. But this one potentially needs to stop here, right? So maybe something like this. Again, this is just all me in my thought process, trying to figure stuff out. So maybe I just try to end right there. And maybe I do that because I want to come in from over here. Again, this is not necessarily the most optimal. This is me just kind of squiggling around, trying to figure out how I want to kind of start thinking about this and how all of these pipes might connect to get a maximum flow. Now, I could then start feeding into T branches and trying to grab every single one of these, but I'm kind of laying this first kind of plan out of the general nature of the direction I want to go in, which means I'm still stuck over here. So this is my finish, right? I've come all the way around through here. So my start still needs to do some stuff over here because I still kind of want, I've hit this, so I can ignore these. I might want that, but I might not. But I've got this down here. I can kick back and come to it. So this is what I've got to figure out. How am I going to get from here over to here? And I could kick through this if I want a free boost, right? I can do this, and I can just make this corner, and I can come out and then just make this corner. And I'm running out of straight pipes that are white, but that's fine. I've got others. But now you see, because I'm building off of this, I'm getting the flow to come with me this time, whereas I wasn't before. So if I want to come down to this, I would come all the way over to here, and then I would use another one of these T pipes like this. It kicks that out, and now I'm kind of out of the whites. But hey, I've got some greens. Look, now oh, look, it's filling all the way up because I connected. Filling all the way up now. So this is, I didn't necessarily need to come over here for this. I just kind of like, yeah, why not? Why not? It feels like they want you, they're kicking you back in this direction for something. So I may as well come over here and grab this health reduction. Because again, health reduction and gold are both going to let me click further. Gold is the better. But now I have flow going everywhere. Say hello to flow, folks. Now I have flow going everywhere, and I can actually light up this and see, like I've got, okay, this one, it's green, so I'm only up to the level 2 here. Same here, but I'm getting the level 4. Getting the level 4 maxed out gold. I'm getting the level 4 increased enemy spawn speed. So now my goal is to try to up the flow so that every node that I lit up is purple. We do that starting closest to your input or output, however you want to look at it. So I'm going to want to find like straight pipes that just boost a lot right away. Look at that. Now we're already a bright green. Spoiler alert, folks, whether it's a light color or a bright color, it's still meeting the requirement. It's just telling you that it's closer to the next requirement. Lighter means you're closer to the requirement you just hit. You just barely hit it. Darker means you're well above it and on your way to the next one. So let's throw another. Now I'm into the blues. Oh, this is purple. See, this is the lightest shade of purple. We got a little bit of light lavender going on, but it's 4.08. That meets the requirements. So I'm good over here. Now I just need to come up here and go, well, what do I need to get this blue? This one's still white because of the split. So I need to get this blue. I could do this right here. Here, I've got a 40. Let's multiply. There. That makes that purple. Do I get purple? Nope. It's still green. Again, because of that split. So do I want to... Here, I've got a sideways multiplier here. That make it blue? That makes it blue. I don't have another one of those, so I'm just going to throw another 40 over here. Does that bring it up to purple? There. And that's all I really had to do. Because again, this hit purple. It just barely hit it though. Everything else is lit up purple. I'm done. Like if all I cared about was the speed effects, I'm done, right? I do also care about the gold effects, so I would want to go back in and I would want to start putting in some splits, like maybe split off here and dump off into this, or maybe I do it from here because we already did a lot of multipliers. Maybe I split here and I come down and I light up these two gold nodes. And then as I'm coming up through here, I mean, look at this. I've got 42 flow here. I could easily split over here and pick up these two gold nodes, right? But I kind of already did this, so let's just load. You can save your formation if you're playing around with stuff, and you can load it. It's up here at the top left in the Mode Run Core Manager. This is my Just Go Fast. So how did I do this the first time? Not too different, right? Not too different. So I came out with multipliers, I looped around, I split here, doubled back. Oh, but look, I combined over here and came in the bottom and then went up, split into these, split into the gold nodes, came up to this gold node and ended up way over here instead of splitting off here. But overall, same kind of idea. I just got there in a different path. And at the end of the day, as long as everything that you want to light up lights up in purple, you're good. When you first start off, you're not gonna be lighting anything up in purple. It's all gonna be white, and that's fine. Don't worry about trying to get to just try to force it up to green while skipping others of the same type of buff. Each of those nodes, if it's the same type of node, will multiply against each other. So lighting them up in white. Multiple of the same thing in white is better than just trying to get one to green or blue, potentially. Do the math. But here's the Mode Run chest. So to get all these components, you got to open tons and tons of chests. One of the things we didn't talk about today was buff boxes. And that's because I've got a guide for that. You can hit up the CNA Games YouTube channel and look for Gaarawarr's Guide to Mode Run Flow. And in that, we talk all about full-on piping out things and building buff boxes and everything. This was more just basic introduction of lighting up the things that are your high priority targets. And with the fast core, honestly, I don't care about the others. I just want to go fast and I want to make lots of money. But when you're opening up your pipes, obviously lots of pipes are useful. But once you start getting into this, you're going to be looking for these directional pieces that are gonna be super useful for you. Undirected pieces that don't have the arrows, they exist. They're great when you don't have lots of pipes and you just need a corner and it's going to go in the direction you want. But sometimes you want to actually direct things and get a buff. Corners are fine. Corners are fine if they're not directed. But these T pipes and the cross pipes, you really want them to be directed. These are going to be super useful. So in this box, even though there's no epics here, that the rarity color doesn't get me excited. It's what these arrows are doing that gets me excited. This was a good chest I opened, because I got 2 cards that could get me 2 pipes that could help me make buffs. This was a garbage chest, even though I got a blue. There's nothing here that's going to... There's some directional arrows here, but again, this isn't a T. I need a T or a cross. That's kind of what you're looking for when you're opening up pipes, because those, like this one, a little better. The pipes are... it goes in one side and out 2 others. That's not the greatest. Usually you want 2 in, 1 out. So you want multiple in and 1 out, usually, when you're trying to do these. Let's look at another one. Let's see if we can get an example of... Yeah, this is better. So this is basically straight up and then a 2 out. It works because this pairs with a 2 in, like if it was an in from the side and 2 out. That's fine with that, and that's a better direction. Here's a 2 in, 1 out. So this is a great T piece. I can come in from the sides on this one, like I was doing at the bottom of that fast core. And I can magnify a lot of flow outside and then combine it all and shoot it out in one direction. And yeah, as you've seen in chat, the 2 in pipes give you multipliers, and the 3 in pipes give you even bigger multipliers. It shows up. I'll show you my my modest core here in a moment, so you can see what that looks like, and see an example of buff boxes. Let's see if we can get any crosses. Hey, there's a cross. This is an odd one. It is 2 in, 2 out. Again, I would prefer 3 in, 1 out, but it's better than nothing. But this is what you're looking at. You're looking at the directionality of the arrows. So I can come in from the right, and I can go out to the right, and I can come in from the bottom and go out to the top. Not horrible, but that's more situational than you would like. Again, the fact that this is purple doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. It will when you start trying to just get the maximum possible flow, but right now there's no real reason to do that. Because some of the best numbers are going to come out of the purple pipes, right? Okay, so that was all the purple stuff. That was chests, pretty straightforward. Let's go look at this core. This is my full modest core, the one that we put in for the power. Fully epicked out like this. A modest core can get you another 100 levels of progress. That's a lot. That's a lot of progress. It can also get you lots of gold, as we saw earlier. But if we zoom in here, we'll see this is what I was talking about when we were talking about a buff box, right? I have flow coming in. I'm splitting. So this pipe comes in and then it goes out in 2 directions. And then I've got flow combining, like this is an in. You've got to use these arrows, or else it just doesn't work. But we're doing all of this, and then this is a 3 in. We pull it over here. This is a 10% pipe. I want you to keep that in mind. But it has 3 arrows coming in and 1 going out. So we have wrapped this buff box around so that we are getting it to come in all 3 sides with directional arrows. And when we put this in here, this pipe goes from 10% to 333.3% of a bonus, because that's how the multiplier works. It's 33.3 repeating to multiply flow if you've got 3 coming in, right? And over here, we've got 2 coming in. It says 100%, right? But it's not. It's a 10%. That means you get a 10. That's how you figure out that 10% multiplier. You get 10% more power when you have 2 flows coming into that and going out. This is how you maximize your flow and nail, like this close. I can get up to, what is that, 5.42, but from 1, it's a nice multiplier. The further you get, the higher the flow goes. This one's piped out fairly minimally. Like you can see, I'm only getting up to like 30 flow here at the top. However, that's because I was going kind of for the most minimal way I could get purple everywhere. Unlike over here in the strong core, where I was like, well, what can it get to? Oh, 1239. Oh, 87,800. And there's plenty of empty space here for me to add more buff boxes, but this is like a fully These are like some crazy big buff boxes I got going on with, and everything's a multiplier piece. And I was just trying to see like what could I get to with power. You can get way up there, folks. You can get way up there. There are people who have gotten even further than this, but there's just no reason to at the moment. It doesn't do anything for you. I'm still only getting a 2400% bonus, which is the normal flow greater than 4. At some point, if they introduce an overflow system, well, who knows? Who knows what things are going to break in the game when that happens. All right, folks, we went a little more than an hour, but we had lots to talk about. I'm going to go into our short, quick break where I drink some water and we listen to some more wonderful music from Bardic Inspiration. This is going to be... this next song is The Unsung Hero of the Dungeon. This is about the gelatinous cube. So we'll listen to that and we'll be back and I'll do some Q&A. Be right back.
Do you ever wonder why this dungeon floor so clean? Who maintains this place, keeping it all pristine? There's no debris in here, you can sneak without a care. Only clean shining stone and treasure everywhere. The rogue sees something shining, takes off down the hall, and suddenly he stops like he's run into a wall. Gelatinous cube, gelatinous cube, unsung hero of the dungeon, and exterminator of the noobs. Gelatinous cube. Not a single cobweb, not one speck of dust. The silver all looks polished and the iron is free of rust. The corridor is 10 feet tall and strangely 10 feet wide. There's no place for you to go, there's no place left to hide. If you stumble in the path of that not so friendly jail, unless you want to face its wrath, you better run like hell. Gelatinous cube, gelatinous cube, unsung hero of the dungeon, and exterminator of the noobs. Gelatinous cube. You ever wonder what it's like to find a death so slow? As you're sinking into its hungry depths you go. Your body is engulfed, drowning in the slime. Its acid eats away at you, dissolving you over time. Gelatinous cube, gelatinous cube, unsung hero of the dungeon, and exterminator of the noobs. Gelatinous cube, gelatinous cube, polyhedron of consumption, and my all-time favorite ooze, gelatinous cube.
So good. Song so good. Love it. All right, folks. While we were gone, I went ahead and made my speed formation fully operational. I've got the speed core in. I've got this going on. It's going to do its thing in the background. So you can see I just killed one thing and it progressed because we've got all the speed champions and they're currently all lined up. Like this one's going to be, yeah. Enemies awarding double quest progress, and that multiplies with the Modron core, and with Human, and with Havilar if it's a fiend, and yeah. Yeah, it's going to go real fast in the background, folks. It's going to go real fast. Oh, I need to turn on automation. There we go. So it'll loop, and I'm going to hit up the Q&A doc. All those questions you were asking, I wasn't ignoring them. Jay's got your back. Jay's pulled them all into this question document that I got up here on this monitor. I'm going to go ahead and answer all those. I will try to sift through and grab ones that are about Split the Party and the Fast Core Modron Flow in general. And then we'll do all the general and all the generic ones. They're about all the kinds of things. We got about 35 in there so far, which is not bad. It's not bad. We'll see. We should be able to get through at least 35. And we'll see how many we get to in the next 44 minutes. Because we'll wrap up about 5 till. Let's see, what do we got? Wicked Near in Split the Party and 2. Does the cannot be swapped and removed mean that you cannot move a character to a different slot in the formation? Or can you still do that? You can totally still move them around in different slots in the formation, as you saw me do. It just means you can't swap them with a different champion by using the swippy swappy buttons, or pull them out and put a different champion in. That's what they're talking about there. Captain Havoc, how do you get Modron cores? Two of them you get for free. One for completing Split the Party, you get the Modest core. And then when you complete Split the Party 2, you get the Fast core. The third is 500,000 gems. That's the Strong core. But honestly, the Modest core is currently, in the current meta, the Modest core is the strongest core for pushing. And obviously the Speed core is what you want when you got to go fast. What else we got? Carthage Bruja. So question, if I use a bunch of champs to get to 12, then remove all but one right before ending 13, will you lose everyone you used, or just the champ out at the end of 13? You can't remove anyone. Once you put them into the formation, you cannot drag them out. I probably should have demonstrated, but you can't. You can't do that. So everything that you use, and you couldn't put 12 in, but you could do 10. Everything that you have put into the formation stays there. You cannot remove it. It's stuck like glue. So you got to make sure who you're putting in is who you want to use, and that you're okay losing them. Where do I click that Modron core stuff? So here's the thing with Split the Party and Modron cores. To get to the point where you can do that, you need to have one extra champion in each of your bench slots. This is the bench down here at the bottom. These are bench slots or champion slots. You need to have one extra champion in each. The easy way to tell if you have an extra, if you do, it's got one of these swippy swappy buttons. If you don't, it doesn't. When you have one in 6 slots, so when you're halfway there, this adventuring parties button will show up. But when you click on it, it'll just have your first party that you're using, and then it'll show you this thing, unlock a new party, but it'll say it's locked because you have to complete the listed requirements, and the requirements are 2 champions in each slot. Once you get there, you'll be able to do the first Split the Party mission. That's how you get your first Modron core. And then, then you can get to your Modron cores from in here, from View Core. You can get to the automation by clicking this little box that'll appear. So yeah. Check out my original guide to multi-party and Modron automation on the YouTube for the basic introductory stuff. Let's see. Anything else about Split the Party Modrons? Nos66, sir. Why are you only using 4 heroes instead of a full formation? The adventure I was doing removes party members at certain levels. You've probably figured that out since asking that question. So even though I've got all 80 champions, I was trying to show you how to use the minimal number, because maybe not everybody is going to have as deep a champion pool as I when they hit split the party 1 or 2, for that matter. And making sure you're giving yourself the best opportunity to complete it means you're limiting your resources to certain levels. Half B, can Briv skip the tree? Briv can skip everything, half B, but that means you'd have to have your Briv at a guaranteed skip level and put him in right there. And yeah, sure, you could skip it. You're spending Briv at that point. I guess that's fine. But I feel like, why not just... If you've got Briv, you've got, like I said, I use Nayeli, I use Calliope, I use Ashara. These are all starter champs. I mean, you could do that without having to resort to that kind of method, but sure. Is the Modron Core super late game? No. Nope. You get, like I said, you get your first one when you have 2 champions in each slot. You get at least 4 champions a month. So like, if you're doing, and that's not if you start on Epic Games, you got 5 free right away. So you'll get to split the party faster than most people. But you get at least 4 champions every month between the time gate, like the natural time gate, and your event. And that's not even counting manual time gates once you start getting enough pieces for that. So you can get there pretty quickly. You think it would be worthwhile for newer players to save weekend boosted champions for later levels after the removals, or risk them to get past early spots like Tree Blight? I feel like Tree Blight is really where your focus is. So if you're going to build a party around potentially boosted champions, like I had Calliope in, and Calliope's boosted. I could have used Human. Human's boosted. Like I said, Human instead of Esmeralda, that totally would have been fine. And then throw in Ashara and Nayeli, and that would have rocked. That would have rocked Tree Blight pretty hard. That's totally fine. I feel like Tree Blight is really where you want to focus, because you're still early on. If you don't have tons of gold find like I had, you're still potentially a little gold starved, depending on how far your first Modron core, your Modest core is leveled at that point. So yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I feel like it's easier to load up the full formation in the later levels with gold find potions and end up leveling up and being fine. Is there a real loss between using 4 and 5 champions? Oh, Mr. Belay, that was fine. With 60%, no. When you're doing the original split the party, yes. With 60%, you're losing 3 and you're keeping 2, whether you have 4 or 5. But when you have in the first one where it's split 50%, if you've got 4, you're losing 2. If you've got 5, you're losing 3. So, it just depends on how many people you're trying to remove and who you're trying to keep. What does segmented boss mean? Segmented boss is anything. Oh, like that strange orb. Oh, it died real quick. Here, let's go back. This is a segmented object. So it just has a number of hits that need to be done to remove it. If it's red like this, it has 25, which you can hover over it and see 25 HP. Segmented bosses have yellow. It'll show yellow, but when you hover over it, it'll say like 50 HP. You just got to hit them with anyone or even click on them, and it takes off a point. Different from armored bosses. I went over a full explanation of that yesterday on GG2E, which was perfect because we were doing an adventure that had both segmented and armored enemies on the same level. So hit that up, the VOD from yesterday. What's the main difference between the modest Modron core and the Modron core we get from Split the Party 2? So the Modron core you get from Split the Party 2 is the fast core. Again, the fast core has speed nodes on it, so you're losing out on some power nodes in exchange for some speed nodes. Now, if you hit up the Discord, they'll probably tell you exactly what the difference is in terms of the overall pushing power. But in all reality, all I really care about on the fast core is making it go fast for this. I don't need general champion pushing damage on this when I'm farming gems, because I'm killing I'm killing all the normal enemies with my familiars, and I'm killing segmented health things with the champions. And to kill a segmented health thing, I just need to do 1 point of damage. So the real difference is the modest core lets you push far, while the fast core lets you push fast. And you could use them both on the same run. You could go fast for the early game, and then when you get to your wall, you could switch to the pushing core. Oh, do I want to demonstrate to users how to swap the cores around? I did that. You just got to click on the little arrows. You click here, and then I can literally just click. I can click and swap them and remove them. Straight up, flip it and reverse it. Sidine, what did Gar use as his initial 2 champions? I used Sentry and Deacon. Just because I was demonstrating that you could throw them away for Split the Party 2. You could remove them both, and I didn't need either of them past that. Where can I open the speed core that the explaining guy is talking about? Well, you can't. Nama Oda first. Until you unlock it. And this was me explaining how to unlock it, and then what to do with it once you get it. So you have to complete Split the Party 2 to get your fast core. Once you do that, then you can come back and reference this tutorial. How to get chests for Modron cores? That's a good question, Strider. There's 3 ways. 2 are in-game for free. One is you get a Modron chest every time you level up your core. So you'll get a max of 14 chests per core just from that. 2 is your patrons sell them. Your patrons will sell them to you. You can buy 1 a week. It's 5,000 of the currency to buy one. But you could buy 1 a week from each patron. And finally, you can buy them in the shop. Like, you can buy them for cash. They're available for cash if you want a bunch of chests. There is I will say, come back here. There is a pack that's pretty cool. I need to buy this. It comes with 50 chests. It gives you a monodrone familiar, which is super cool. It gives you a potion of psychomorphic energy, which increases the bonuses provided by Modron core outputs by 50%. Just full disclaimer, there are some nodes it does not buff. So it's not going to do all the nodes, but it does a lot of like the power pushing ones. Not necessarily speed and not necessarily health reduction or champ cost reduction, because increasing those kind of breaks things. And then you get a bunch of components. I don't use component pieces yet. I use component pieces to upgrade pipes to the next rarity. Which can be nice, but early on I feel like it's not necessary. And you get component pieces by destroying or dismantling pipes you don't want to use. Again, early on I feel like that's not necessary. But later on, when they introduce some kind of overflow system which lets you push your buffs even higher by having higher flow, I think that's when those will come in. And also Modron chests will pop up in the wild offers, so you can buy them for cash from the store or through wild offers. What's the difference between the 3 commonly available cores? Well, it's the only 3 cores. Again, the modest core, despite its name, is kind of the deep pushing core. It has lots of pushing power for the current meta. The strong core is kind of geared to push for a different kind of meta, with champions that like different buffs. All of this, people have outlined all of this in the Discord. You'll want to go into detail there. And then the speed core, again, when you got to go fast. You got to go fast. I'm not currently, Ilmaz, I'm not currently using, someone's like, how are you completing missions so fast? I'm not using any speed potions. There are no speed potions going on here. This is all a combination of speed champions and my speed core. Speed champions and my speed core right now. If I were to use potions, it would be going even faster. It'd be going even faster. We can do that. You want to do that? Let's do that. Let's go faster. What's my multiplier at? Just with 1 medium potion. It's already up to 4. All right. What's this take it to? 2 potions. Takes me up to 8.859. We're about to go plaid, folks. Come on. Does that get me 10 now? Yeah. So I can use the 3 smallest potions now with Shandy and my speed core and get a 10x multiplier. That's nice. Look at that go, folks. Look at that go. Now there's speed potions. So all the cores share the same component inventory. Yes, they do. And if I had not had enough pipes to pipe out the fast core the way I wanted to, I would have stripped some out of my strong core because I don't really use it for anything but automation. Well, the node effects that match a hero's effect stack. So for speed stuff, yes, they multiply just like having multiple effects like that on champions. Do we know if the speed nodes in the core affect the speed of background automation? So, the credit ones will not. The spawn speed will not currently. The one that might is the one that speeds up the overall game progress like a speed potion. Because the devs have said that speed potions, the basic speed potions, not the epic ones I don't think, the basic ones should function in the background. Yeah, folks, this is what happens when we go full 10x. We get the black wipe just constantly. Apologies, but you know, we got to go fast. We got to go fast. Does Modron automation keep working offline when you shut the game down, or does the game need to be open for it to work? Oh no, it works, because here's what happens, Jacob. Nothing's happening when you go offline. Your game isn't being run on a server or something. When you're offline, nothing happens. But when you come back, that's when offline progress kicks in. When you open up your client after being offline, a simulation runs. And that's why it says like it's calculating all that stuff. It's running the simulation of what happened, and it's factoring in everything, including Modron automation. So that happens when you log it back in. So yes. When using Briv jumps, do you try to stop gem farms runs close to where he stops jumping? And do you manually get his stacks, or do you Modron AFK it? So Briv, usually there's a way to finagle Briv to build up stacks at the end, even while you're automating runs. However, in my experience, it's not something you would do if you have a low Briv jump percentage or a low Briv jump number. Because you have to slow down enough that things are attacking Briv for him to build up stacks at the end of a run. And that kind of counters the whole point of speed effects. So until you get to the point where you're jumping like 3 and 4 levels at a time, it may not be worth using Briv in an automated gem run. As you can see, he's not in mine. He's not in mine, and I'm moving along just fine. I'm moving along just fine. Briv would be even faster, of course, but yeah, it's with automation and Briv, that's not usually the best combination until you get super high numbers on your jumps. So you can't ever get everything in a core then. Oh no, Kindle, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. I think I showed that off. Look, I piped this one specifically because I wanted every node. You can absolutely do it. What I was demonstrating with the fast core is that sometimes you don't have to get everything if you don't want it. I didn't want everything in my fast core. All I wanted here, I could absolutely go back in and figure out a way with buff boxes to build up this flow to keep it purple and hit all of them. I just don't feel the need to at the moment. So I didn't. I targeted specifically the things I wanted, which are the speed effects. There's 3 of them. And then I targeted gold. So I have lots of gold. Because the more gold I have, the further I can push. So here, folks, we'll do this. Let me do this. Let's because this is a little rough to watch. Let's just trigger a reset and we'll get rid of those speed potions. That's probably a little better for everyone, visually speaking. All right. What was the automation thing you turned on? That's part of the Modron system. So once you unlock Modrons, you'll get access to that. What happens if you skip the zone where the champions get removed? Arctic Blizzard, that's a good question. I don't usually use Briv to try to skip removal zones. I'm not sure. It feels like it should trigger the removal when you land, but it might not. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't... back in the day, I actually made tier lists. Started making tier lists. Man, was that a mistake. I made a speed tier list, though, and I put Briv in the broken position, specifically because you can use him to skip the whole purpose of the game, which is building formations to challenge, to beat bosses. That's kind of the whole point of the game, in my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. Some people's whole point of the game is just to go as far as possible and earn as much money as possible. I like to beat the puzzles. So I don't use Briv for that kind of stuff. Snoo Change is saying it skips the removal if you skip the level to get it removed. So there you go. I don't do that kind of shenanigans. Let's see. This is kind of related. Do background parties run at offline speed or normal speed? Offline speed. Offline speed. Gem farming is optimal in your active party like I'm doing right now, because speed champions do not work in background parties. And that means when you first get your first core, you want it in your active party because that's the fastest way to level it up. To farm gems with the fast core, how many familiars do you need? How many you got? How many you got? I mean, by the time you get the fast core, you should have a few. You're going to want 1 on click damage. At least 3 on the field. And then 1 for as many possible speed champions as you can put out. Yeah. I could get away with less than 1 here. So I have 9 on champions, 1 here. That's 10. I could do 5 on the field at 15. And then I'd want 1 on the gate on Human's ultimate. So 16 is kind of key. I don't really need this 6th one out here. It's just killing distractions, and that doesn't matter for speed pushes. So like 16 is optimal, but you could pull it off with, I don't know. I mean, at worst, 5. 1 here, 3 here, and 1 more on 1 speed champion. That wouldn't be the fastest gem farm, but you know, you could do it. In my head, I'm humming Gelatinous Cube. I think that's it. Okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit all the regular questions. Is there a reason to play time gate free plays after doing a deep push and completing the 3 adventures? No, not really. Jason, if you think that you got all the meat on the bone in terms of the number of silvers chests you can get by pushing to unique 100 levels, then just bail. Like if you got to 305, but it would take a lot of work to get to 400. Nah, peace out. But if you got to like 287, and you think it would be pretty easy, like 1 more run and you'd be able to get to 300, then knock that out. But yeah. Are blacksmith upgrades permanent? Finger lickings. Yes, they are. Any news about the offline mode bug? I'm not a developer, so I have no idea. Conan, how do I get items for time gate champions? Silver chests don't do anything for them. Time gates. Yeah. Like I just ran yesterday on stream. I started my dinar time gate here. So I got 3 gold dinar chests, and I got 4 silvers because I only pushed past 400 and then I bailed. Even though I could usually go to like 800, I don't know why I didn't. So yeah, I mean, you do time gates. You also do their event when their event rolls back around. Unless they're only a time gate champion. If they're only a time gate champion, the other way you can get gear, you can get up to blue gear from Electrum chests. Or you can open, like, sometimes there will be weekend chests, like this is the Gold Coast weekend, or the Sword Coast weekend. Well, it's the Gold Coast chest. It drops gear for whoever's listed there. But then you have patron chests. Do I have any patron chests here? No, but I think I need to open a patron chest for a challenge. Hold on. Who do I need to open it? Here. Open Strahd. So patrons will sell you chests, and the chests, the items that are in this chest are qualify for anybody that qualifies for this patron. So anyone with any champs with an int score of 13 or higher can get gear out of patron chests. So when I go to, I just bought that one. When I go over here and I go to open this patron chest, I will get gear for event or time gate or even core and evergreen champions that qualify. So like here's Olcoria, she's an evergreen champion. There's Xander, who you would get out of an event or a time gate, and Sasaspia same. So those are the ways that you get gear for champions that you would get out of a time gate. The regular silver and gold chests only drop gear for your core and evergreen champions. That's it. Anabana GG. I'm hard stuck for over 3 hours on a level. Reset. I'm getting about 2% per minute in 324. Reset. I've used a huge speed pot because I wanted to try it out that lasts until the adventure ends. It will be a huge benefit to stop and reset. Yes. Without a new speed pot. Yes. Or stay and grind where since I got the benefit of the speed pot. No. No. Usually you only want to sit at a wall, which is what you're talking about. You're hard stuck. That's your wall. That's your progress wall. You only want to sit there for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. If you're going to use an epic speed potion, you drop that bad boy at level 1. Any epic potions, if you're ever going to use an epic potion on a run, decide at the beginning, drop it on level 1. That's how you get the most advantage out of it. But once you get to the end, especially running a speed potion, if you're sitting at your wall for more than 30 minutes, you've got what you've got. You've scraped the marrow out of the bone. It's time to just reset and use all that favor you earned to push you faster on your next run. On a snake, what are some hidden synergies for some champs? Like Human acting as a human for buffs. I mean, that's not really hidden. It's in his name. He's a Human. Spurt dying for Strix with his ult. Again, it kind of says in the description. Some of the things are super apparent. Do half-elves, orcs count as human? No. Half-elves are half-elves, and orcs are orcs. Or half-orcs are half-orcs. Whenever they're talking about races, there's this whole purity thing that... it's kind of throwback D&D. They were really racist, and if you were mixed, they don't count you. They don't count you. But yeah, as pointed out in chat, Human is also male and female because there's 2 guys and a girl in there. There's the kobolds are different genders, so they count for both. But hidden, I don't know that there's hidden synergies. I think most of them are out there. I think sometimes, I think they're not hidden because I think the ability descriptors explain it. But I guess maybe if you're not necessarily understanding how things work together, it's harder. Benwyn works well with Barrowin because Benwyn attacks real slow, and Barrowin attacks and can attack multiple times, but then slows down a bit. Barrowin attacks like buffs based off the difference between her attack speed and your target's attack speed. And then when you throw Pwent into that mix, Pwent slows down the attack speed of anyone he's next to. So you put Pwent next to Benwyn, but not next to Barrowin, and then Barrowin attacks real fast. Pwent slows down Benwyn, and then Benwyn's doing like real big meaty hits. It's just, it doesn't end up being super optimal, but it's a thing. It's a thing. Especially in the Bud system, slowing stuff down isn't always great, but there's things like that where people work together, but you kind of have to read the abilities and then process in your headspace how those abilities interact with one another. Do you know if elf? And then Azaka farming is probably the biggest unhidden secret in the game. Like Azaka farming is using Azaka to make lots of gold, but not just by having her in the formation. There's this whole manipulation that goes on with Azaka's ultimate, combining with things at the end game. There's a video for that. There's a video for that. It's called Azaka Make It Rain. It's on the GG2E archives, not in this archive, in the GG2E archives. Do you know if elf subtypes count as elves, like Eladrin and Drow, for example? Yes, they do. They are elves. They're just different types of elves. They're just not half elves. So yeah, Eladrin and Drow both count as elves. How do you keep the gold from one adventure to another? You don't. You don't. When you end an adventure, all the gold turns into favor. And then that favor increases your gold find on the next adventure. So you keep some power, but you don't keep the gold. So basically you earn gold faster on the next run, which is why you want to reset when you get to your wall. Can you explain Hitch's specializations? Your guide seems to go back and forth, and I've seen some of your old VODs, and it looks like you're undecided. I'm not undecided. I just want to make sure you understand. In my guides, I try to explain the benefits of things so that you can make informed decisions. So more daggers gives you more daggers. It's in the title. You get an extra dagger, and because Hitch's daggers bounce, you get the potential to have 5 more attacks come out, right? Because of the bouncing. Which is great if you're attacking like hit-based stuff, which is why sometimes I'll use them against hit-based enemies. But it makes his buff a little swingy, because if you don't get the bounce on the RNG, then his buff drops, because his buff is based off the number of times the dagger bounces. Whereas in Charismatic, you're getting a flat bonus, and that keeps his buff more consistent, but you throw, 1 fewer dagger, so you're getting fewer bounces. Now, when you get to the point where you have all of his feats, you combine his feats. I did a lot of heavy testing, and I tracked numbers on a spreadsheet, and it came out that Charismatic ended up being the best, most consistent high-level buffing and damage when you're using his more daggers feat and something else. Hold on. Let me go. I keep it in that. Setup. So let me go look. So Charismatic, excess dagger storage and coiled daggers. That's what I want. So the chance of the daggers ricocheting by 40%, and you give him 1 more dagger. Because what happens is then if you have these 2 in, and then you slot more daggers, well, adding 1 more on top of what you already have doesn't really boost you as much as you would want it to, and it actually ends up being better to just run Charismatic. But if you don't have this, then you can go more daggers. You could go more daggers, and then coiled daggers plus... what was the other one? Like extroverted. Like coiled daggers and extroverted, or coiled daggers and expert aim. Like you could go other things if you don't have that specific epic feat. But in my testing, using that with Charismatic is kind of the best. But that doesn't mean I don't use more daggers a lot. I will. If I know that I have enough power to get through an adventure, and there's armored bosses, and I'm using Hitch as my DPS, I'll throw more daggers on, just to get more bouncies, because I know I can overpower it, and I don't have to. I'm not pushing to a wall, so it doesn't matter. Kool-Aid the Red, can you change the specialization without the potion for that? Normally you have to use a potion. There's shenanigans that I don't participate in, where if you have multiple parties, you can pull someone from one party to another. And obviously that then resets them back to 1. And then when you pull them back into the original party, they're back at 1 again. So you lose all the gold that you spent, which usually doesn't matter. But then you can respec them. The devs have known about that forever, and they haven't chosen to do anything. So I don't know if they're ever going to change that. How do we get the blue click damage? The Quizzy, this is snowballs. This is a snowball effect. It was given out for free when Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden was announced, and they haven't done anything with it yet. I've asked them if they're going to put it in the store at some point, like under the gem store, and I don't know. Beto Sven. Do I have to click the convert button to turn event favor to normal favor? Yes, or you wait until the game forces you to. It usually takes a week, and then it'll force you to convert it, but you could do it early if you do it. I didn't know I'd lose my event tokens and not be able to cash them in for chests. Yeah, we try to message that as much as possible. Like I was saying it over and over in all my streams, and I don't know. Yeah, they go away when the event ends completely. You got to spin them before the event ends. What's more impactful, getting everyone full epic or completing all achievements? Ooh, I don't know. I don't have all achievements. I'm 473 out of 477, so I'm real close. I'm real close. 3 here, and I haven't done I haven't done Shaka's yet from the most recent. And that's an EO 4% increase to all champion damage. I would think... Oof. What's the total? Here's the thing. I don't think we get a total for the full... Where's the full epic one? No, that's... Slow and Steady gives you 2% for every piece of equipment of epic rarity, multiplicative over all campaigns. So someone would need to do some math here. There's 80 champions currently. Each one has 6 item slots. So that's 480 items. So 2 to the 480th? Isn't that how you would do it? And then figure out what that percent is. Is it greater than whatever the max achievement percentage is? That's partially how you do it. Then you have to figure in like how much of a bonus do those 9 or 10 champions get you with epic versus blue. Current boost for Slow and Steady is maxed at about 11.925%. Okay, so that's 1.19 EO4 versus 2.23. So, if that math is right, Haggis Buns, then all the achievements is a little bit better. But, and I posit this to you, ¿por qué no los dos? Why not both? Oh, 11.9. Well, it's the multiplier, right? I mean, it's a percentage. It's literally 2%, so it is a percent. But it's a percent where you're multiplying percents, so it is a percent. I don't know. Is this confusing? It's a 2% bonus, so even if I multiply 2 times whatever, I'm ending up with a percentage. Just because you remove the percent from the calculation doesn't mean it doesn't end up with a percent at the end. I have 5 time gate pieces. Should I unlock Mert, the moneylender, for 3 pieces now, or wait 5 days and do a time gate for my missing bench slots for Split the Party? I feel like this got asked yesterday, but maybe it was a different person. Trombe. I think I said yesterday, you need to figure out what your power level is, because you need a lot of power and you need a lot of options to be able to complete anything in Mert. You need to have done a lot of variants. So it's kind of up to you. I kind of like the idea of getting your Modron core first. The second party in the Modron core, because then you can put some champs in a background party and try to do some Mert progress in the background while leveling up your core, and your core will give you more power to do Mert. I feel like that's better. I said you had to think about more of your progress yesterday, but really I think it's kind of get your core first. For an Epic Game Store player plus bin win from a time gate, is there any way to over-level power through Okoria mission? I don't have enough champs to make a decent party. It's all DPS for the most part. Flinzer... I mean, Okoria wants magic-based attackers. So if you don't have that bench, you're out of luck. I mean, could you do other things to get more power? Sure, you can make sure you have all the other blessings, like global blessings from all the campaigns, and you could start working on your perks from your patrons, and you could start leveling up your Modron core. But I feel like by the time you get enough power from those, you'll have picked up more champions. You're about to get 3 more from this next event. Although, well, Keelik would help you out. So you'll get 1 that you could potentially use Keelik. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're just going to have to start looking for more power and see what gets you there. Jinx, I missed this. Is the 60% removal from Split the Party 2 random? Yes. It's in the descriptor of the variant that it's random. First time gate, Ishi, Cathris, or Ariza. I would go Cathris, Termarather. Fatherwind, can you only purchase through the in-game store, or is there a website too? If you're playing on like a platform, you want to purchase on the platform. I don't think you can buy... Yeah, there isn't like a central website to buy stuff on. Platforms don't like that. Platforms don't like that. That's why there's no cross-play and cross-saves and stuff, is because platforms want to keep their money. Optimus, is there any reason to hold on to potions of polish or limit which champions they will apply to? Nope. Not early on. Early on, just you get a potion of polish, use it. There will be a certain point... Oh, I've got 4. I need to use this. There will be a certain point where you almost have all of your core and evergreens gilded. At that point, you can start holding on to potions of polish, but you'll know that when you get there. Early on, just use them. Just use them. Does equipment in the game level up in rarity when they are leveled up with the blacksmith contracts? No, you have to loot a higher rarity. Should I save contracts for the best gear? No, because you keep your item levels forever. Captain Hazy, is it an efficient use of time to do time gate free plays? Only if you're real close to getting another silver chest, and you can just do one more time gate and get it, or maybe 2. But if you're spending like 5 or 6 or 7 deep pushes in a time gate to try to get one more chest, or just to get some more time gate favor, that's not really worth it. That's not really worth it. Once I hit my click damage wall, should I stop leveling click damage? Yes. Hoister Crane, how much less is offline gold compared to online? It's not. It's just slower because your offline progress is slower. So you're killing slower. You're clearing 1 level per minute offline at best. Can you show your speed score screen where you have all your speed notes to purple one more time? Yeah. Yep. I think that's it. There should just be 3, and it's 1 at each. 1 at 5, 1 at 10, 1 at 15. And then I hit all the gold find nodes. Yeah. Oh, and the monster health reduction. Those are the only ones I hit. And I didn't build any buff boxes, which is super nice. If you upgrade a piece of gear from blue to purple, do the levels go over as well? Yes. Item levels are forever. They're part of the item slot itself. They have nothing to do with the rarity of the gear. How do patron chests take feats that improve stats into account? Wicked Near. Yeah, so you can slot somebody. If somebody's close to qualifying for a patron, and you slot that stat feat, they qualify for the patron. You can use them in their missions, and their gear now drops from that patron's chests. So that's a way, if you've already gotten all the gear that patron offers for all the champions that patron normally drops gear for, you can sneak somebody else in if they're close to qualifying, and then only get gear for that one, like only get epics for that one when they drop. There goes my voice again. All right, we're coming up. Last few questions, so no more questions. No more questions. How do you play a time gate? You click up here on the little Stonehenge looking dealie. It'll come up on this screen, and then you do view available time gates. This weekend it's free. It would say free. I already did mine, but that's how you do it. And then you choose one of the free champions. Unlocked Torgar for my time gate. I cleared all 3 areas, and I'm in the free run now. Will I get any more gold chests? No. Should I cash the 3 I received? I mean, you can open them. Murdochs, but all you're going to get from a free play is if you get a unique 100 levels, you'll get silver chests for each unique 100 levels. So at 100 the first time, at 200 the first time, 300 the first time. You can't just farm. You can't farm chests like you do in events. What do you do with duplicate items? They level up. They add item levels to your gear, so they level up your gear. Every time you get a duplicate, you're getting more power. How does Nearest spiritual weapon work compared to other more standard buffs? Is its damage calculated off a character's current DPS or their base? Base DPS is a lie, so it's their actual DPS, which is more reflective of their actual attacks. It shows up in Bud. So like this hit, off each hit that they're doing, like Birdsong did a 947 E134, it would be off of that. Is a 5,000% spiritual weapon better than someone else giving a 5,000% damage buff? Same thing. You're still getting 5,000% damage. Doesn't matter how you get it. Who's your favorite DPS and your favorite support? I feel like this is going to change real quick because Mehen is about to arrive in the game, and we will have not only both of the Brimstone Angels, but their dad too. And I feel like I'm going to be using a lot of Farida, Havilar, and Mehen here in the near future. So we'll just go with flavor of the week. How do I get Hitch? I signed up for the newsletter a week ago. Should I have him now? Yeah, it should have emailed you a code that you put in. Check your spam folders to make sure you get it. Otherwise, if it's not there, then submit a ticket and they'll figure out what's going on. So I can't figure out how to unlock the champs for the first slot unless it's all events based. It's all events or time gates based. Yeah, that's how you get all champions. Unless you're buying them from the store, you get them by events or time gates. Final question. Question number 60 today is item polish forever. Yes. You can, when you polish an item and it becomes shiny, it stays shiny forever until you get a gold in that slot, which is usually through the cash shop. And when you land a gold on top of a shiny, it refunds you a potion of polish to use somewhere else. And that's it, folks. We are done for today, for this streaming week, ending May the 15th. We are going to be out of here. Remember, streams start up again on Monday with Champions of Lore. B. Dave Walters, Aaron M. Evans, and their host, Triavor. Yeah, it should be interesting because Mehen, who is our newest champion to be arriving in Idle Champions in the upcoming event on Wednesday, is created by Aaron M. Evans. So maybe they'll talk about him. Yeah, it's from the Brimstone Angels books. So we're going to go out with another song from Bardic Inspiration. This is I'm a Mimic. So we did Gelatinous Cube. Now we're going to do the Mimic song. Be good to one another. Keep yourself safe in these crazy wild times. And I will see you next week.
I'm a chair, I'm a table, I'm a treasure chest. Come a little closer. I'm a simple object just like all the rest. Lean a little closer. I'm your favorite jewel, come on, pick me up. Reach a little closer, you know I'm just the thing that you love. I'm a mimic. Nice to meet you. You'll never see the light of day. I'm a mimic. Pleased to eat you. Can't help it, I was born this way. I'm a mimic. Have to keep you, 'cause now you're here to stay. I'm a mimic. Had to cheat you. There was no treasure running away. And now your prize has turned you into prey. I'm a bed, I'm a ball, I'm a door on the wall. Step a little closer. I can imitate, impersonate, or copy it all. Get you even closer. Once you pick me up, you're never putting me down.